Trevor DeBoer.
First green flag of 2019 ready to come out. Kyle McKenzie about to get this field going. Blake Bomberry will head down the banking, and we are under full throttle into corner number 1.
Nice wide racetrack for these Thunderstocks to start things off, and Bomberry with a good launch. He'll get out ahead of Rob Hoskins in that white number 37, but Hoskins making some good speed down the back straightaway. He'll try to track down the leader.
Bomberry working that outside line. Hoskins in his tire track. Mark Bazine on the bottom side. And here comes Mark Fawcett right behind him. Good to see him back at the Big O here in 2019.
Fawcett looking to make that move on Mark Bazine on the outside, looking to take over that third position all the way up to the high side of the racetrack. Look at how wide this track is. I dare say there's some bite way down at the bottom and there's some bite way up at the top, and if you're going to run the middle, you're really going to have to pedal the race car. A tense moment there with Kenny Sargent in the 25 and Go Fast Teeple in the 11. They made contact on the front stretch.
Bomberry leading the way with Hoskins holding on to second, but here comes Fawcett down on the inside line. They'll go door to door off of corner number 4 across the stripe. Push the number 32 machine into the second spot now. Hoskins back to third, and all the way from the back row, here comes Trevor DeBoer in the 23s up to fourth.
I think Trevor DeBoer is a serious title contender for 2019. He just got better and better as last season went on. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of changes to that race car, because you know what, Greg? It didn't need a whole lot of changes.
Well, we got a chance to sit down and talk to a number of these drivers, and Trevor was one that showed a lot of confidence in his preseason interview, and he's showing it early here. He's up to that third spot as now he's worked by Hoskins, and he's closing the gap on the top 2.
He absolutely is, and I'm watching Mark Bazine close in on the back of Go Fast Teeple as Teeple's working up to the back of Rob Hoskins. He'll look to the inside of turn 4, all kinds of squirrely going down the front straightaway, but he never lifted.
Battle up front, Fawcett on the inside of Bomberry there for a moment in corner 2. Now as they go down into 3, Fawcett working it close to the wall. Bomberry still a bit of lane off the top right now, coming to 2 laps left to go for the drive of the Nitro 54 variety, number 24.
You know, Blake Bomberry, I watch his Facebook posts. He doesn't post a lot, but when he does, I just always find it entertaining to see what he's up to. And he mentioned about putting in the hours in the shop this week, doing the little things you have to do to find speed out of these race cars. Great to see him running at the front here in that beautiful purple number 24 as we're into the final lap of heat race number 1.
Yeah, Blake is really making a statement, I think, this year that he is going to be one of those contenders as well, and he's showing it right here in this first qualifying heat, as now he's put a little gap on him in second place, and now it's Trevor DeBoer putting the heat on as they come to the checkered flag. Bomberry will get the win over Fawcett, DeBoer, Teeple, then it's Hoskins. Bazine goes for a spin, so it'll be Sargent crossing the line ahead of him. It'll be Sargent and Liverance, and then Bazine rounding out the running order there in that first qualifying heat for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. They're down at the formerly South Buxton Raceway, now Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. He'll be back there in position number 5, and Logan Schwedick on the outside. The Advantage Electric number 53 out of Ancaster, make that Jerseyville, Ontario, in position number 6. And Chris Dickey out of Brantford. And that car number 1, he'll go from the 7th starting spot.
Chris Hale, the driver of that number 79 machine, that car was destroyed from the rear window back just last Saturday night at South Buxton. A lot of late nights, a lot of help from other teams, but the car is out and good as new as he'll start on the outside of row 2 as our pole sitter did not come up to speed.
Andrus will drop to the back of the pack as now it's Rowitsky and Hale going at it for the top spot with Schwedick in tow. They were in 3rd.
How about that new look for Aaron Rowitsky? Had a beautiful blue car last season and has a beautiful black car here this season.
He'll lead this lap as they cross the stripe with Hale right there in 2nd spot. And for Christopher Hale, having a collision like that, all that damage, and have to rebuild the car, that gives you a little bit of confidence that you did something right in rebuilding it. Up there challenging right now for the top spot.
Oh, that's for sure. And like I say, late nights, and you always wonder, did we check all the nuts and bolts? You know, was there anything overlooked? From the looks of things right now, car is A-OK, running like a top out there. Heat number 1 was all Camaros. Have a look at these.
Yeah. 4 Monte Carlos in the top 5 right now. The Camaro digging on the bottom. That's Logan Schwedick in the 53. He's side by side with Hale down into quarter number 1 with Rowicki out in front, but he's about to feel pressure from the 53.
Well, and Chris Hale isn't going to give up either, working that outside to Logan Schwedick down low, pedaling his way through 3 and 4 as Aaron Rowicki not quite up to the cushion. Rowicki is up on the high groove, but not quite up where the real tacky clay is to get even better drive.
Halfway through the second qualifying heat in the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks, Logan Schwedick, your new leader. Aaron Rowicki back to second. Hale in third, feeling pressure now from Donnie Lampman in that orange number 28.
Top 4 pulled away from Chris Dickey, who started deep in this field. They're going to settle it amongst themselves, although Logan Schwedick looks like he wants to make this a 1-car race out in front. He has pulled away about 5 car lengths over Chris Hale in the 79, Aaron Rowicki in the 4.
Two laps to go, says Kyle McKenzie atop the flag stand, brother. As Logan Schwedick leads, Rowicki holding on to second. Lampman trying to work that outside line on Christopher Hale. They continue to go side by side. That's your top 4. Chris Dickey quite a ways back there in the 5th spot.
Jim Lampman, always orange race cars. Nice looking car. Not a ton of design to it. Just a pretty simple paint scheme. Easy to find on the racetrack, though.
Half a lap to go for Logan Schwedick, who got his name into the record books as a feature winner for the first time last season. And he's looking to add his name to the list of title contenders this year. He'll get the checkered flag in qualifying heat race number 2. Rowicki will come home in second. Hale will be in third. 4th is Lampman. 5th will be Chris Dickey. 6th is Roloffs. And then Andrus will come home in that 6th spot. Spins it in corner 4.
That's the way to do it. On the last lap, push the limit, see where the edge is. He went a little bit over that. No harm, no foul. He'll cross over the checkered flag and head to the pits. In third in the 13 out of Brantford is Casey Huffman. Alongside him in the 41 out of Caister Center, it's Adam Plazik. Starting 5th out of York in the number 14, it's Johnny Lowenberg. And starting 6th out of Caister Center, it's Jim Lampman. I think we were calling Donnie Lampman Jim that whole race, weren't we? I was. And rounding out the field in the number 49, he wins just about everything he enters. Dave Bailey from Hagersville in that number 49 as we get set to go green.
Ryan Denning, Ryan Beagle. Battle down into corner number 1, and here they go off of 2. Beagle gets a good run on that outside line. He'll squirt out into the lead. And Jim Lampman on the outside of him.
This racetrack looks to me to be slick, fairly smooth, a couple little spots out there, but a slick racetrack really favors the 84 of Ryan Beagle. He loves those track conditions.
Close racing there with Denning and Lampman down the front stretch. That allows Dave Bailey to sneak up onto the inside line. Bailey looking for yet another championship in that number 49 machine. He's been the man to beat. Can someone knock him off the podium this year?
If I'm Casey Huffman or Adam Plazik, I'm not really thrilled about how luck of the draw put me in with this group. Look, those 4 drivers at the front represent a lot of race wins. In fact, I'm impressed with how close Casey Huffman is staying in that 13.
Well, he really turned it on in the late part of last year and found something in that 13 car. So I'm sure he's been chomping at the bit to get back out here. And yeah, when you can keep those quality of cars up in the top 4 right there within striking distance, you're doing something right. Casey Huffman's doing that right now.
Dave Bailey edges ahead of Ryan Denning in that number 8. He'll slide up into that 3rd position. Ryan Denning going to carve that car down to the inside to try to fight back.
Ryan Beagle out in front over Jim Lampman. Dave Bailey now working the outside line behind Jim Lampman. Denning on the bottom, and it's not paying off. He slid back to the 4th spot.
Yeah, the bottom right now, there's just enough bite up higher on the racetrack that the bottom doesn't make sense. If Ryan Denning really wants to help his cause, he'll run the outside, slick it up as much as he can so that later on the bottom groove is going to be that much better.
Jim Lampman, Dave Bailey going side by side. The 28 on the bottom, the 49 on the outside. That's Dave Bailey in that 49 machine, defending champion. 2 laps left to go as they continue to duke it out.
Yeah, Bailey looked to have cleared Jim Lampman there without a lot of problem in 3 and 4, but Jim Lampman really fought back down into 1 and 2. So Bailey with the edge, but he's not getting away from Jim Lampman in that black and orange number 28.
Final time around with Ryan Beagle out in front. Always a strong contender here in the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock division. Dave Bailey in tow, Jim Lampman in third, Ryan Denning fourth, and Casey Huffman back there in fifth. Checkers about to come out to conclude qualifying for the Thunderstock division. Ryan Beagle picks up the win. Bailey second, Lampman in third, Denning fourth. Fifth will go to Casey Huffman. And FLASGBACK will come home in the sixth spot.
Well, guys, just taking a look at the track conditions out here. The track crew have done a marvelous job. It is pool table smooth and very hard. As you can see, the track is in great shape. They've really packed it in.
Alongside him is Jeff Roloffs out of Chatham in the 17th starting spot aboard car number 6R. Adam Plazik goes from the 18th spot from Keister Center in the 41. Going 19th, Derek Liverance out of Brantford in the 40. And then we've got Kyle Andrus going 20th out of Hamilton in car 43. Johnny Lowenberg out of York will go in car number 14th from the 21st starting spot. And starting 22nd out of Caledonia, the 21X is Mark Bazine. The viewers have no idea what they missed here in the tower.
It's 105 degrees in here Fahrenheit. Someone turned on
Darren said he thought you were wearing 2 sweaters.
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away. And you had to look this way because that's where the starting lineup was. That was what felt the best to me.
I got halfway through the field.
Green flag going to fly out of turn number 4. Go fast, Teeple in the number 11 on the point with Ryan Beagle on the outside. Double green flags from Kyle McKenzie. We are underway with our first feature event of 2019.
Beagle leads the pack down the backstretch. Here comes Dave Bailey working that outside line around Go Fast Teeple in the 11 as they work off corner number 3 and into 4. Bailey right on the back bumper of Ryan Beagle coming down to complete lap number 1.
You know, I was a little surprised Monday night at Merrittville Speedway. Ryan Beagle didn't come out to race. On those nights where you have a lot of race cars, the track slicks over, he performs very, very well. On a slick racetrack, Ryan Beagle is as good as anybody. And I'll tell you, on iRacing, Ryan Beagle is as good a 360 sprint car racer as anybody I've seen. That cat can wheel a car.
The driver on the move here early on, Mark Bazine picking his way through the field. The 21X started dead last, and he is now working around the outside of Ken Sargent back there around mid-pack.
Yeah, he's working his way. He's about a third of the way through the field. He's going to find as you get closer to the front, they get harder and harder to pass. But Mark Bazine working his way. Blake Bombury was lightning quick in his heat in that purple number 24. He's racing right around the tail end of the top 10 right now, battling with Aaron Rowitsky, who has slid back from his top 5 starting spot.
Kyle Andrus will take the 43 to the pit area. He'll be the first car to pull off here in this feature event. 4 laps are on the board, and here comes the battle for the lead. Dave Bailey works down low on Ryan Beagle. Beagle not giving up on the outside. He's got a good run on that APC, number 84 RK.
So Dave Bailey's going to work the bottom groove right now, and one thing he is able to do, he's got phenomenal car control, and he can hit that spot lap after lap after lap if he wants to. So what he's basically going to do is try to make Ryan Beagle make a mistake. He's going to keep hitting that spot, and it's a little bit slower than Ryan Beagle's able to run, but one bobble out of Ryan Beagle, Dave Bailey will get that lead.
Bailey right there, following in the tire tracks of Beagle as they work it off of corner 4, completing lap number 6 now with 14 to go here in this first Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature of 2019. Beagle holding a pretty wheel right now, sails it down the backstretch. 1 and 2 pulling away from the rest of the pack, where Christopher Hale right now is in that 3rd spot.
And they battle so close. Last time out of turn 4, Chris Hale was right alongside as Dave Bailey takes the lead over Ryan Beagle on the inside. Can he slide up and take Beagle's lane away? I believe he'll be able to, going down the back straightaway. So Dave Bailey into the top spot in that number 49. But a couple laps ago, Chris Hale and Logan Schwedick were side by side through 4. Hale got loose, and all Logan Schwedick could do was kick his car sideways to avoid contact. So they both sort of half spun off of turn 4. That cost them even more ground to the leaders, Dave Bailey and Ryan Beagle.
Dave Bailey out in front, that Gyps Action Sport Queenston Chevrolet number 49 with Ryan Beagle right there in 2nd. Then it's Christopher Hale and Logan Schwedick 3rd and 4th put a nice run out in the top 5 right now. And Go Fast Teeple, he is really looking strong, holding on in the top 5.
Beamsville Fish and Chips was the sponsor last year on the 11. I believe they still are. I heard that announced at Merrittville Speedway, so I hope I'm right. We have reached the halfway point. 10 laps are in the books. We have 10 laps remaining as the yellow flag flies.
Casey Huffman is limping his way into the pit area, so I'm not sure. Is that something up there in the high side of corner 1?
That's not a Doug Leonard kind of yellow flag. It looks like Casey Huffman had his stuff together. Maybe. Okay. I take it all back.
Yeah, guys, a bit of debris, sheet metal stuck there on the outside of turn 1 of the cushion. And they'll get that one picked up right away.
Sometimes when I wake up, Big Earn's already there. You ever watch the movie Kingpin? Love that movie.
I don't remember if I have or not.
Bill Murray was Big Earn.
No, I haven't. It's not the movie I'm thinking of.
Well, it's a classic, Greg. Many quotables. So 9 laps back on the board. We go back to the last completed lap, and Kyle McKenzie, green flag in hand, going to set them loose out of turn 4. Dave Bailey, the leader, elects to start on the outside. He'll lead them into turn 1.
Brewster Baker leads the pack through corner number 2, and they're all stacked up behind him as Logan Schwedek works to the outside of Ryan Beagle. He'll take the second spot away, and now Jim Lampman works the outside line as well. Beagle taking heat from Christopher Hale on the bottom side.
And Beagle completely changed his plan there in 3 and 4, running the bottom groove. He was sort of mired in the middle of the racetrack. I thought he was going to try to fight his way back to the top. He likes to go lower on the racetrack. That allows Jim Lampman to the outside. Chris Hale lost a spot there. Jim Lampman up into 3rd as he battles with Ryan Beagle. Well, Beagle 3rd that lap. Lampman alongside battling for that position.
Good pack of racing going on. Trevor DeBoer, Chris Hale, Go Fast Teeple, and Rob Hoskins. 23, 79, 11, and 37 all in a pack right there behind the leaders. Duking it out.
Feels good to see Rob Hoskins having a decent run out here in the top 10. He had some horrible luck last season for a stretch. It seemed that he couldn't catch a break at all. Out there right now, I believe in the 8th position, just ahead of Ryan Dinning and Aaron Rowutsky. So right in the mix, and really in this Thunderstock division, Greg, everybody on the racetrack has the potential to have a good top 5 run. This is a tightly bunched, tough field of cars.
Yeah, it truly is, and we're seeing that right now with a smattering of cars right now that some are in places you wouldn't normally expect them to be, but when the field's this strong, where else are they supposed to go? Like you said, someone like Mark Bazzani started picking cars off early on in this feature event, but has kind of mired himself where he is back in the bottom 3rd of the field.
Yeah, he sort of got that far right off the hop, and he might have even lost a spot or 2 since then, but hanging out in that position. Out in front is Dave Bailey by about 10 car lengths over Logan Schwedek. Ryan Beagle trying to mount a challenge as we got 6 laps remaining, now 5 laps to go.
Here comes Ryan Beagle. He'll look to the inside of Logan Schwedek for that second spot. Works it down low in corner number 4. Does Beagle have anything left for the leader?
Whoa.
If he can get by Schwedek, troubles. And the caution flag will fly.
I think that was Jimmy Lowenberg, and I don't know, is that a trail of oil down there in turn 3? Yeah, I think it is, because he sort of got sideways and spun the other way, and the trail follows that car right up to the point where it stopped. So we might have expired a motor, maybe blew a rad hose. I believe Clinton Jeffrey is heading out to the scene. He'll be able to tell right away by the smell. Adam Plazik's number 41. He runs deep in the field in that 41 machine. That sits like a street stock car that you would see racing down in New York. And I don't know how better to explain it, but some of those central New York track street stocks just have a different attitude about them. It doesn't have that sleek, sunk down look that Logan Schwedek and Dave Bailey and Ryan Beagle and Jim Lampman have. It sits a little bit higher.
flag back out. Dave Bailey working that top side. Schwedek on the bottom. Dave Bailey right now is looking for career win number 22. That would put him one behind A.J. Lewis and Ryan Denning, who are tied for the most career wins in the Thunderstock division with 23 each.
Such an impressive list of drivers we've had in Thunderstocks over the years. None more impressive than Dave Bailey, but A.J. Lewis was dominant for a time. Ryan Denning, always a top-notch competitor. And thankfully, we still have all of them racing here at Ohsweken on a Friday night. Not necessarily in this division, but they all still take part in the festivities. We got 2 laps to go.
Dave Bailey, so smooth all the time, back out in front. Logan Schwedek is right there. He's been able to hang with him, been able to race with him here tonight. I think Logan feels good about how his run's been, but he'd love nothing more than to find something here in this final lap. One more time around, and a good battle behind him between Beagle and Lampman.
Man, and they're playing bumper cars deep in the field, bouncing off of each other. One more time down the backstretch for Dave Bailey. We've got a great battle for third, though, Greg.
Across the stripe, the checkers will come out. Dave Bailey, the first feature winner of 2019. Logan Schwedek second. Ryan Beagle third. Fourth is Jim Lampman. And Chris Hale, after a car that was destroyed a week ago, comes home with a top
Happy
5.
with that run. My favorite part of the story with Chris Hale is the list of competitors that came to his aid to help him put that car back together. And pretty proud of that here at Ohsweken Speedway. They all get along.
Well, Ohsweken, you can hear you now. How about it for Brewster Baker? Dave Bailey picks up your run tonight. This puts you in a pretty good shot to tie the record next week on MAP TV, on national TV. 22 wins here. Seems like a lot more to us, but great start to your season here at the Big O.
Yeah, it's an awesome night. Me and Ryan have been going back and forth, bothering each other about this record deal. So I'll probably win one, and then he'll win one and go back ahead again, whatever. That's just the way it is, but that's awesome. I just got to thank Queenston Chev, Mark at Jibs, Transport Sales and Service, Transaxle, and I got to give a special shout out to Sean Chenoweth. He bought me 2 tires last year because we were always getting beat by American racers, and finally I wasn't scared when we put them on tonight, and that was the ticket.
Track looked pretty good tonight, Dave, for opening night. What's your thoughts on that?
It's slick, it's different, slow down, it's really wide, it's really racy, it's awesome. We learned to adapt. We always got spanked on this last year, so we did our homework, and hopefully looks like these guys did good too, so who knows.
You're not too bad when you can finish second to one of the best in the business. Dave Bailey, talk about your race for us.
Yeah, it was pretty hard chasing Dave down. He's a real good runner, and he's a real smooth driver, so any mistake I try to correct on, but I make more than him, so it's a learning curve racing against these guys. Ryan ran real good as well, so we're just going to keep trying. It's a long season, so it'll be interesting.
All right, thanks a lot, Luke. Ryan, we talked about your season, and somehow on a night like tonight, it just seemed like this is the track that we expected you to chunky and tacky. You're not really the guy we're picking on paper, but tonight I think a lot of our regulars had you picked. This track seems to suit your style. Talk about it.
Yeah, it was weird tonight. 1 and 2 seemed a lot tackier than 3 and 4, but we held on for a podium. I can't complain opening night. So,
great start to your season.
Yep. I got to thank Doug Gamble. I know he's up in the stands. He helps us out a lot. Just got to thank him.
Congratulations.